velocity on wheels. Some are fast, some are sleek. We see cars every day. But have you ever wondered what it takes to make a car? Let's scope out Ford's Mustang assembly plant in Dearborn, Michigan and find out. Hi, I'm IQ Parrot, the beak that speaks, here to invite you along on an exciting journey. It takes 2,500 parts and the hard work of more than 800 people to build each Mustang. It all starts out with a truck, but not just your everyday run-of-the-mill birdseed delivery type truck. This truck has 42 wheels. That's because it's carrying something extremely heavy. Steel rolls. These steel rolls are the first ingredient in making a car. Each roll weighs up to 60,000 pounds. That's as heavy as 4 grown elephants. There's enough steel in each roll to make 30 cars. That's no bird call. It's a warning to watch out. Heads up! As the crane lifts the steel roll and carries it to another part of the plant. Where it's unrolled and cut into pieces. Looks like a roll of paper towels for giants. The pieces of cut steel are picked up and fed into a giant pressing machine, which shapes the steel into pieces for the body of the Mustang. Here's what happens when a flat piece is fed into the machine. Wham! Amazing! The newly shaped steel zips along and gets trimmed down to the right size. It's like cutting out sugar cookies with a cookie cutter. A robot with octopus-like suction cup arms carefully picks up the newly cut and shaped steel. Once a piece of steel has been cut and shaped, it's ready to become a useful part. This man is putting pieces together to form the rear fender of the car. See that hole for the gas tank? Well, I wonder when the lid goes on. Throughout the plant, people are repairing many different parts. Small carts and trucks scurry around, collecting, hauling, and delivering materials. Everyone is working to get the ingredients to the place where it all comes together. Dum-da-da-dum, the main assembly line. This is where the Mustang is assembled, put together. But before we move ahead, let's hit the brakes and travel back in time for some key assembly line facts. This is Henry Ford, the founder of the Ford Motor Company. Over 80 years ago, probably before your grandparents were even born, he changed the way cars were built by using the assembly line. Here's one of Ford's early assembly lines. You can see how hundreds of people work together, with each person focusing on one job. That's the whole secret of the assembly line. As the cars move along, each person adds a part. They do their jobs over and over with each passing car. The line moves along quickly, allowing many cars to be built. Okay, let's cruise back to the present. On today's assembly line, people share the work with robots, but not the kind you see in movies that tell jokes and make coffee. Oh, no. These robots do the heavy and more dangerous work. Like a house, a car is built from the bottom up. The assembly line starts here with the first part, the floor of the car. If you have long legs, maybe your feet rest on this piece when you sit in a car. The second part is for the car's trunk. I think I see the place where the spare tire will go. Can you? When sparks fly, it means that metal is being joined with metal. It's called welding, and it's like gluing two pieces together, except heat is used and not glue. Hey, nobody told me there'd be dinosaurs on this tour. Pretty cool robots, huh? They're welding together the third piece needed to form the bottom of the car. It's the front part where the engine will go. Now all three pieces are put together. This is one of the loudest parts of the line. The bottom of the car is complete and moves down the line. This isn't the North Pole version of the Mustang. Because the car does not have wheels yet, it's attached to a sled and moves along on rollers and belts. People take over from the robots and do more welding. 2,000 weld spots make sure the Mustang stays together. Excuse me, can you explain to us what you're doing?
I'm making the lower back for the car. I take this back and I set it up like this. I take these here donuts.
Donuts?
Call these donuts. These are tabs. And I have to stick them on these corners.
Did I hear donuts?
On each corner of the lower back. And then I take these strips and I put them down the side of the lower back to keep you from having water leaks. And this is assembled on the back of the car. That's called the lower back of the Mustang. And that's my job. Then after I finish this, I go over and I put it on the table and feed the line. That's it.
Thank you. She's feeding the line, and we've got to move down the line. Here comes the sides of the car. You can tell that it's going to be a hardtop because of the window frames. And look, there's the lower back piece that the donut lady just fed to the line. Even with all these fancy machines, sometimes a good old-fashioned hammer is what it takes to do the job right. More welding sure puts out the smoke. Now they're beginning to look like cars. I was wondering when they were going to attach that gas cap cover. I didn't know it was the 4th of July. Nah, these people are just heavy-duty welders. And they're wearing heavy-duty welding visors to protect their eyes from the sparks. It's important to wear protective gear when working on the line. Gloves, visors, ear protection, all kinds of things are worn for safety. Only Only a bird brain would forget to wear safety equipment around here. Many small lines feed the big assembly line, the way small rivers flow into one big river. This forklift is taking doors to the place where they'll be added to the car's body. What the heck is that contraption for? Oh, I see. It helps this man lift the door and fit it perfectly in place. But cars are not the only things moving on the line. Jeez Louise, you sure are moving fast.
Very active. I like that.
And now for the trunk lid, or as they say in the car business.
This is the deck fixture. And what I'm doing is I'm tightening bolts on the left-hand side of the deck to ensure a proper fit.
The hood's a different color than the rest of the body. It's made of plastic and is lighter than steel. Reducing the weight of a car helps save gas. Excuse me, what's that? So there it is, the completed body of the car. The car is built to be strong and sturdy so it can take any mega impacts. These crash tests help make sure the car is as safe as possible. Now I understand why they use so much steel. Now the cars take a ride up to the second floor. The 9-mile assembly line twists and turns up 3 stories to save space, and at each stop, more of the car is added. These workers are preparing the cars to go into the swamp. A quick cold shower washes away any dirt and loose metal. Brr! Does a good job on loose feathers, too. This place is no bird bath. That red light warns us that it's dangerous to be here. There's a lot of electricity and poisonous paint in here. It would really ruffle my feathers. The swamp is a pool filled with a special protective paint that coats the car's body and keeps it from rusting. Once dry, the car continues down the line. What are you doing?
Sealing the joint. Prevent leaking.
Even with all those robots, many things are better done by hand. The caulking looks and feels like putty. The base coat of paint has to be polished like glass before the next coat is put on. The hats they're wearing make sure that not one strand of hair will fall on the ruined surface. Or one feather. Ooh, that's smooth. This computer's not for playing video games. It controls the painting process. The same machine paints every car, whether it's blue, red, yellow, or black. The computer's been programmed to know exactly how much paint is needed for each car and what color it's going to be. Those look like shower nozzles.
These are called bell cups. The paint comes through the back of these, comes out of the center, it swirls the paint around, puts it on consistently. These serrated edges allow the paint to be broken up to give you a smooth, even coat.
And there's a car being painted yellow. They call that canary yellow, but we parrots call it parrot yellow. It's a bird thing. This is one of the quietest parts of the plant. The final coat comes out in a fine mist. It feels like a soft rain shower. So peaceful. But it's not necessary to whisper, so why am I doing it? The car's baked in an oven for about an hour, 280 degrees. No cooked birds, please. Look at that paint shine. It looks perfect. Let's check with the expert.
I'm checking for the color code to make sure the color is proper. See, but this is the lineup tag here. This tells you everything that goes into the car. So when you see me reading this, I'm reading the color code, what kind it is, GT, and making sure that the paint color is proper. Oh yes, that's ready to be sold.
Wait a minute. We still have a few more things to add, like wheels and an engine. And seatbelts. They're screwed into the frame of the car. Next come the sun visors. Those wrenches use compressed air to twist the screws in place. And now comes the part that makes a convertible, a folding top. This part of the assembly line is for convertibles only. Once the top is on, the convertibles go back to the main assembly line. Where the windows are put in. This part of the line won't be a bore if you adore doors. I wonder what those machines are called for setting the glass in the door.
They wouldn't call a door glass setter.
A door glass setter? Hey, why didn't I think of that? Are you getting the drift here? Any part that opens and closes, the hood, the doors, the trunk, the windows, has to be adjusted by a tool called a setter. I recognize the doors and windows. But what job, pray tell, are you doing?
The license plate job, license plate, the high mount.
The rear taillights are a perfect fit. Just off the main assembly line, the man is
Installing the steering wheel and the airbag. airbag right here. We got to scan the number off the barcode, and we got to get the serial number off the airbag.
Sure, that's what an airbag looks like all wrapped up. But this is an action-adventure video. Let's see some action. Phew, that's almost more action-adventure than I can handle. Back to work. The finished steering column is hung on a moving hook that takes it to the next step.
Installing the steering column. Steering column installed.
The steering column's installed with the dashboard upside down. Once flipped over, they fit the entire dashboard in one piece. How do you suppose they attach the windshield? Cannot forget the rear view mirror. They use a super powerful glue. No screws needed here. A Mustang would not be a Mustang without this special grille ornament. It's the wild Mustang of the West. If you've never seen one, not a bad likeness. Now for something no wild horse needs. The headlights and indicator signals. There's another red light. That's a warning to duck. Low-flying Mustangs overhead. It's easier to add certain parts from below. Now it's time to get this engine ready to go into the car. The engines are as complex to build as the car itself. So complex that they are built in another plant and then shipped here. Let's compare them with the engines of years ago. Well, they function the same, and the way they move on the assembly line looks familiar. But today's engines are many times more powerful and have more sophisticated designs. Here's the transmission being attached to the engine. The transmission takes the power of the engine and transmits it to the rear wheels. Both the engine and transmission move downstream to be installed in their car. Can you figure out what those giant springs help do? Let me give you a hint. Looks like these old cars are missing them. The springs and shock absorbers. They allow a smoother ride. needs fuel. This man is installing a gas tank to the underside of the car. Here comes the drive shaft. It takes the power from the engine's transmission and delivers it to the rear axle. The rear axle turns the rear wheels, which moves the car. From here, it's a pretty straight run to the end of the assembly line. The tire needs a rim. This is the only time a tire gets a free ride. They flow down these rollers into the main assembly line, nice and easy. Do you really think this is the way they install a tire? I don't think so. Let's check it out. How's that for a power tool? Here folks could fix a flat in no time if they had one of those, but I think it'd be kind of tough to fit in the trunk. After 22 hours of hard work, the cars are almost complete. And now that we have you on the edge of your seat, here come the seats. Now that all the parts have been screwed, welded, glued, and bolted on, all that it needs is some gas and a few taps with a rubber mallet to make sure everything fits just right. Let's take a quick look underneath to make sure everything looks okay. Yep, there are the mufflers, rear axle, gas tank. It looks good. Now for the big moment. Will the car start? The driver gets into the car and makes one last check. Have all the parts been put together just right? Yes! The car revs up and rolls off the line. Just as cars have been rolling off the line for over 80 years. We're ready for the road. This is IQ Parrot. I'm gonna fly, so it's time to say bye. Thanks for joining me on the assembly line. See you next time.